Can y'all hear me? All right. If y'all could count down with me, that would be perfect. Y'all ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Play ball.
It's time to wake up a little. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Home Runs for Hospice. Let's get some blood flowing. Nice. 4, 3, 2, 1, and stop. 2, ready, go. Yeah. Keep on going. You're in the band now. You're in the band now. I need you. Nice. Ready to do it again? 4, 3, 2, 1, stop. 2, 3, go. Yeah, there it is. Perfect. Keep going. Keep going. Nice. All right. I'll play it, you'll play it. I'll play it, you'll play it back. Watch. One, two, let's bring the groove. Go, go. Come on. Hey, Nick, you want to come up here? Four, 3, 2, 1. I'll hold it. Well, you go ahead. You got it. Yeah, whatever. One more. Hey, Nick, do me a favor. I want you to look at them and say 1, 2, ready, go, super loud.
1, 2, ready, go!
Nice job. All right, keep on playing. Keep on playing, yep. Let's bring it down. A little bit more. Nice. How about a nice mark pull? One time loud. Hold that for me. Nice. Now I need y'all to join in the song too. Yeah, join me on that. Good morning, everybody. Keep going. My name is Steve Turner from Giving Tree Music. And I've had the privilege for the last 20 years of facilitating drum circles at Camp Circle of Love and other hospice camps around the country. And when these kids show up to camp, they are carrying more than any child should ever have to carry. They bring with them grief, they bring with them sadness, confusion, and questions that are too big for words. They show up to the drum circle guarded and unsure, sometimes even skeptical. And then something magic happens. They pick up a drum, and they don't have to talk. They don't have to put on a brave face. They just have to play. And in that moment, you can feel the shift. The space that we're playing in, it becomes, you can feel the sense of power, the sense of belonging, sometimes even a little bit of joy and laughter. Grief becomes rhythm. Pain becomes connection. And hope finds a voice without a word being spoken. And I think this is the magic of hospice. I think this is the heart of hospice, where it's not about endings, it's about presence. It's about showing up and making sure that no one, no child, no parent, no grandparent has to walk this alone. And I want you to understand that this is no accident. This happens because of folks like you. Every drum beat that's played, every counselor or caregiver that show up, every tear that's shared in a safe space, those exist because folks like you made the choice to care. And for that, I want to say thank you so much for being part of this family and for coming into the circle with us. Let's bring it down. All the way down. And together, we're going to create some magic, and I'm going to show you what this is like. We're going to create magic in this room together, so I'm going to ask your participation. I'm going to bring you a sound. And when I hand you a sound, when I bring it to you, I just want you to keep doing it. That's all it is. And you'll see what we can create in this room. Are you guys ready? Can we do this? Yes? Over here. We'll start over here. Let me see you do this. All the way over. Bringing it across the room. Yeah, come on. Everybody, please. Everybody. For these kids. Let's have that sound. Louder. That sounds a little like wind, doesn't it? Yeah. Bring it in, bring it in, bring it in. Over here. It's raining now. Keep it up. Come on, let's get it storming in here. Get it. Get it. Come on, get it storming with me. Ooh, we got some lightning too. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Thank you guys for sharing space with me.
Looking right on the lines. Good job. Good morning, everyone. If you weren't awake already, hopefully you are now. Thank you so much to our drummers for igniting the room with energy this morning. Please begin to enjoy your breakfast and feel free to continue eating as the program continues. My name is Julia Steinbrenner, and I would like to start by sharing I'm a little over 6 months pregnant with a baby girl. And as you can imagine, oh, thank you. As you can imagine, our family is filled with joy and anticipation as we prepare to welcome her into the world. And in this season of reflection, I've realized something very powerful. The end of life deserves the very same reverence and care as the beginning. Every story counts, not just how it begins, but how it concludes, with dignity, grace, and love. This mission is woven into my own story. When my grandmother was under the care of LifePath, the nurses were remarkable. They carried us through with laughter and compassion and brought so much sunshine in a devastating time. That experience is why I volunteer at Camp Circle of Love. I've seen firsthand how much it matters for kids to have a safe place to heal after loss. Before we dive into our program, let's first take a moment to thank our amazing sponsors, but please hold your applause until the end. Our presenting sponsor, Buchanan. Power hitting sponsors, Marsh McLennan Agency, Regions Bank and PAR Inc. Grand Slam sponsors Shepherd Insurance and Zenith Insurance Company. We also thank our major league sponsors, Construction Technology, Seacoast Bank, and Vinson Law. And thank you to all of our Triple Play sponsors for their generosity. Their names are listed on the screen. Thank you so much to all of our sponsors. Their support more than covers the cost of today's event. That means every dollar you may choose to give today will go straight to our mission. I would also like to thank the incredible table captains for bringing your family, friends, neighbors, and colleagues together. It is greatly appreciated. Get ready for some inspiring and heartfelt stories. It's not easy for our speakers, so let's give them our full attention. Phones on silent for the next action-packed hour. I am thrilled to be on this journey with you today, so let's get started.
Good morning. Thank you, Julia. My name is Kimberly Wolf, and I have the distinct honor to serving as the Vice President and Executive Director of LifePath Hospice. It's so good to see you all here this morning. Some of you know LifePath Hospice very well. Others may be hearing about our mission for the very first time. Wherever you are, I'm grateful you chose to spend your morning with us. Today, I want to take you on a journey. Why this mission matters to me personally. What we've accomplished together over the last year, thanks to you and other supporters, and where we must go from here. My hope is that by the end of our time together, you'll feel the same fire that I do for this work and see the vital role you play in making it all possible. People will sometimes ask me, why hospice? For me, it starts with my stepmother, Anne. She was in my life for 35 years. When she became ill, her physician suggested hospice. But at that time, I had a very poor impression of what hospice was. I thought it was about giving up. I thought it was only about death. And also, as both a nurse and a family member, I declined. And I regret that tremendously. It ended up being the most challenging year of my life, her life, and my father's life. We didn't realize the impact of our decision until it was too late. Because hospice isn't about giving up, it's about living fully, right up until the end. Research shows that the sooner someone becomes onto hospice, the more likely they are to live longer and with greater comfort. Hospice means more than moments. It's more dignity, it's more connection. And my stepmother didn't get that chance. And that's why I do this work. Hospice happens once. There are no do-overs. I want every family to have the gift that my own family did not receive. Now, this work is not easy. Caring for 1,200 patients every day of the year, our team of over 450 staff members witness raw moments and bears unbelievable, heavy stories. But what keeps me going is what I remind them of often. You chose this path for a reason. Hold on to that reason when it gets hard, especially. Your compassion is your superpower. And sometimes the stories from the bedside remind me more than anything why this work matters. One story stays with me. A nurse admitted a woman to the Malesh Hospice House in Temple Terrace. She had been minimally responsive, nearly comatose, but as our nurse introduced herself, the woman slowly opened her eyes. She was calm, alert, and able to engage. It was as if she had been waiting for that moment to connect. The nurse brought her husband and lifelong best friend to the room, not to say goodbye, but to share in something rare and beautiful. They shared one last kiss. For a short time, this woman was fully present. She spoke softly, connected deeply, and gave her husband one last unexpected gift. Later that night, she passed peacefully. Can you imagine what that moment meant to the love of her life? That's hospice. It's not about endings. It's about sacred connections, about making sure love has the final word. Often, people think end-of-life care when they hear hospice, but another vital part of our mission is missing in that story, guiding families through grief toward healing and hope. This past year, because of support from caring people like you, we've done some amazing things. We've expanded our bereavement programs, helping children and adults navigate the hard journey of grief. We hosted a grief camp where kids discover they're not alone and where healing starts to take root. We've said yes to patients who might otherwise have been turned away. Regardless of insurance, background, ability to pay, we were there. One story stands out. A man with stage 4 pancreatic cancer came to us. Without LifePath Hospice, he and his spouse would have had no support. Instead, they had a team to walk through them this journey every step of the way, to guide them, to make sure they didn't have to face that difficult road alone. That's what makes us different. We say yes, every time. However, we also know the gaps are real. Too many caregivers carry an impossible load with very little support. Too many patients can't access hospice because of geography, transportation, or lack of insurance. And too many families don't learn about hospice until the very last days, when it's too late to experience the full benefit. Today, most hospice care is paid for by Medicare, but it doesn't cover everything. There's still a substantial gap to fill. Some of the most meaningful parts of what we do, the things that bring extra comfort and make our care unique, are not reimbursed at all. The needs are real today, and they're growing. This year alone, our organization faces a $3.3 million funding gap. $2.5 million of that for charity care and $850,000 for bereavement services. And when I look out into this room today, I am filled with optimism that together we will be ready to meet those challenges head on. Imagine what it means when we close that gap together. You make it possible for hundreds of children, teens, and adults across our community to receive grief counseling for as long as they need it, no matter how they lost a loved one. Pediatric patients are surrounded with therapies and programs that bring joy, laughter, and comfort in the hardest times because of you. You honor veterans and first responders through the Valor Program, ensuring their bravery and sacrifice are remembered through pinning ceremonies and honor walks. Through the Pet Peace of Mind program, you give patients comfort of knowing their beloved companions will be cared for without worry after they're gone. Insurance doesn't cover these things. Philanthropy does. And this is where you have the power to make a difference. You have the opportunity to say yes to the uninsured, to the families with no payment source, to anyone who needs care, no matter what. LifePath Hospice believes mind, body, and spirit all deserve care. We believe no one should ever be turned away, and we believe hospice must always be more than checking a box. That's the nonprofit difference. No one's turned away, ever. Decisions are made at the bedside, not the boardroom. Grief counseling is available for as long as it's needed. We're here 24/7, 365 days a year, and our volunteers bring warmth, presence, and care into every home. This is who we are, and that's who we want to remain. So I'll leave you with this. Hospice is about more than medical care. It's about dignity. It's about compassion. It's about love. It's also about purpose, growth, and self-acceptance through every chapter of our lives. And together, we can make sure every family in our community experiences that kind of care. Thank you deeply for being here, for caring, and for standing with us.
Good morning. My name is Joan Simon. It's often said grief is love's souvenir. My husband Jim and I traveled a lot in our 40 years of marriage. We traveled for fun with our kids, family, friends, and to big sporting events. And along the way, we collected Christmas ornaments from every trip, tiny mementos of the joy we shared together. But our last trip together, one that was supposed to be filled with excitement and anticipation, left me with a souvenir I never expected: grief. In September of 2021, we flew from Tampa to Denver to help our daughter prepare for the birth of her first child, our first grandchild, a moment that should have been the happiest of our lives. But in an instant, our plans changed. After being in Denver a few weeks, suddenly Jim had a difficult time breathing. We rushed to the local hospital, and what was initially thought to be pneumonia turned out to be an undetected lung disease. A prescription drug Jim was taking became toxic to his lungs and severely scarred them. Hospitalized and steadily declining, we wondered when this nightmare would end. About a month later, Jim passed away. Our daughter had given birth to a beautiful baby boy. Then 11 days later, she said her final goodbye to her dad in the hospital courtyard. Jim held our grandson for the first time and died the next day. Our son had flown in a few weeks prior to be by his dad's side. Watching his pain broke my heart. A trip intended to begin for the beginning of a new life became the heartbreaking end of another one. Grief became the souvenir I carried home with me, with a heart that ached at every turn. Instead of the planned adventure driving home, I shipped our car back with Jim's ashes inside. You see, Jim was a longtime professor, a larger-than-life personality who had the gift of bringing people together. He finished his PhD at just 26 and was in his element, teaching literally thousands of students for the next 48 years. Without him, the warm home we built together felt cold, empty, and aching with the absence of his presence, just like me. Family and friends cared deeply and told me to call if I needed anything, but I didn't know what to ask for. I just knew the simplest tasks, like making the bed or deciding what to have for dinner, brought a pain so sharp, it felt like a knife piercing my soul. A friend mentioned that Life Path Hospice offered grief services, and in my desperation for relief, I signed up for group therapy with others who had lost a spouse. Those first few sessions were like an out-of-body experience. I could not say the words, "My husband died." I knew if I said it out loud, it was true. But eventually, that group became my lifeline, a safe space where I could share my feelings of grief with 12 other people that truly understood. Together, we supported each other through the unimaginable, saying things only we who had walked this journey of loss could understand. What began as a 12-week counseling group blossomed to a 2.5-year journey of healing, deep friendships, and unwavering support. And our friendships have endured long after the sessions ended. We stood by each other through holidays alone, anniversaries, and birthdays. And we sobbed. And we laughed. And we grew stronger each and every week. They helped me face a life alone and find my way forward. Grief is love's souvenir, a lasting reminder of the bond we shared. And now I'm slowly reshaping those souvenirs into precious memories that I can revisit with more joy than pain. Thanks to Life Path Hospice and their grief counseling, I have shifted my focus on not how Jim died, but how he lived. A man full of love, humor, and joy. I will be forever grateful to Life Path Hospice for guiding me through my grief journey. And I have found deep meaning into giving back to this mission. I'm now a proud member of the Hospice Women of Philanthropy, and this is my 3rd year as a table captain. It brings me immense joy to remind my friends of one simple truth. No matter what your walk of life or your stage of life, one day you will say goodbye to somebody you love. And when that moment comes, you want Life Path Hospice by your side, offering compassion, support, and care when it's needed most. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Letitia, and 24 years ago, I met the love of my life, Tommy, in a rec center of all places. My mom actually introduced us, and I think she's seen something long before we did. At first, we were friends, but the conversations became easy, and we were a perfect match. 8 years later, we got married and had our son Cordell, and built a life centered around things that we cared about most: faith, family, and communication, and of course, baseball. Years later, those values would carry us through something we never saw coming. From the time Cordell could walk, he was swinging a bat, barely 2 years old. We spent weekends traveling to games, my husband coaching, and me cheering from the bleachers, bonding as a family on and off the field. And my husband, he was the kind man who showed up. Tommy was steady, strong, and a man of his word. Excuse me. He was a military veteran, a devoted father, and my best friend. When Tommy was diagnosed with cancer, I was devastated. At first, we fought hard. We even held a walk in his honor called Strikeout Cancer, because that's who we were. I'll never forget when it was time to have those hard conversations. My husband would always believe, always believed in being honest. No sugarcoating, just heart to heart. Having talked through his wishes well in advance gave us clarity when everything else felt uncertain. What a gift he gave me, he gave us. We knew how to tell our son. We just didn't know when. We waited and waited, always trying to protect him from bad timing. Testing, a big tournament, holiday breaks. But the truth is, there's never a good time to say, Dad is sick. He has cancer. Finally, Thomas decided he wanted to tell him on his own. The three of us sat in our bedroom, and that moment was theirs, bud to bud. Eventually, the time came when fighting gave way to letting go with dignity. That's when Life Path Hospice entered our world, and that's when everything changed. From the moment the hospice team arrived, I felt a sense of calm, like I finally could exhale. I leaned so heavily on hospice nurse. Her experience, her intuition, it was unmatched. One night, Tommy was restless, calling out, unable to sleep. When I called her for her guidance, she asked, "How long have you been together?" I told her 24 years. And she said, "He's longing for your soul, Letitia. He needs you next to him." I held Tommy's hand the whole night. We both slept. And for the first time in a long time, there was peace. Hospice brought peace into our world. They supported not just Tommy, but me and Cordell. The emotional load, the spiritual questions, the physical care, they carried it all with grace and compassion. If I could talk to his team today, I'm not sure I could say more than thank you without sobbing. They made the unbearable seem bearable. They made everything smooth. And if Tommy could speak to him, I know he would say this: "Thank you for giving me peace." Baseball stayed a part of our story up until the end. We included it in his obituary. It was part of his service. And now, standing here today at Home Runs for Hospice, I can't help but feel I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Even after he passed, hospice was still there for us through the circle of love. Counseling helped me and Cordell find our footing, find healthy ways to cope. And slowly, we began to heal. And that handsome young guy you seen during the countdown this morning, that's our son Cordell. The same one who used to swing a plastic bat before he could even talk. The same one who watched his dad fight with courage and let go with grace. To be standing here with you all today, sharing our story, it means I'm meant to be. It feels like part of her legacy. My husband will want it. He would have been all about this, anything to help someone else. Thank you.
I lost my father. He had cancer. It was just like hurtful to see him in and out of pain, and he was in and out of the hospital a lot. He passed away overnight, and then my mom, she had told me when I woke up and got ready for school. I didn't have to go to school. I wanted to, because I knew he wanted me to keep going.
I lost my mommy. She died from drug overdose. I felt really sad and I didn't want it to be real. I miss talking on the phone with her and playing with her. I miss snuggling with her.
I lost my little brother Cody. He was only 3. We just all went to sleep and he got out in the middle of the night and got hit by a car. I never got to say bye to him. He meant a lot to me. But Cody and Eleanor are twins. My little sister's a big reminder of him. Hurts me inside sometimes when I'm just like playing with her or talking to her. Circle of Love is you go to meetings on Tuesdays, just talking to other people that have had similar experiences to yourself. It was helpful to be around other kids like myself. I actually made some friends when I was over there.
At Camp Circle of Love, it's really fun. There's this zip line that I never go on, and there's a big swing. And it makes you not feel alone.
They had a memorial thing when you walk down the path, and they had the chair set up. There was a fire, and then we had wrote letters to our loved ones, and we got to put it in the fire or we could keep it.
I wrote my letter with when everyone else was writing a letter to their loved ones. It felt nice to just kind of tell them how I've been doing.
We made this at Camp in Arts and Crafts. I made a rainbow because it makes me feel happy.
This is a memory box I made. I remember he loved to go to the aquarium and he loved sharks.
We liked to go to baseball games. It was every week that he had tickets, we would go or something. My first home run, I just hit it. It was a grand slam. And when I hit it and when I was running the bases, I was thinking about him.
My mommy pushed me on the swings and we played on the playground and we laughed a lot.
If your dad were sitting on the couch next to you, what would you say to him?
I love you and I miss you.
I wish he was here so I could say bye to him. I miss him a lot.
I would say I really missed you and I would give her a really big hug. I never want to leave camp. I want to be a counselor so I can stay there. I can make people feel not alone and I can have them have fun.
Joan and Letitia, thank you for embracing this moment and finding the courage to share your stories with us. Good morning, everyone. My name is Jason Paiva. I am a Home Runs for Hospice Ambassador Council member, table captain hosting guests in the room today, and my wife Natalie and I are proud Sustainer Circle members. I didn't know it then, but my journey with hospice began with the passing of my first grandparent 24 years ago. In the years that followed, I watched as hospice cared for 3 more grandparents, my mother-in-law, and a close friend. My last living grandparent, Grandma Paiva, passed in 2021. While reflecting on her death, I began to think of her life. She, along with my other grandparents, often repeated a simple phrase, "Bloom where you are planted," that no matter where life takes you, be a source for good. What was my life? A loving wife, a healthy family with 3, for the most part, amazing children, and financially secure. But was I a source for good in my own community? Now, I wish I could say I started being a source for good right then and there, but life happened, and it wasn't until the fall of 2023 that I found myself in a conversation with a good friend about giving back. If there was a charity he was passionate about, and he mentioned Life Hospice. Thank you, Mike, for inviting me to your table that day. I was asked before our breakfast this morning what I've learned in my journey with hospice. I guess it's that while I had a deeply personal experience with loss and grief, the feelings of loss and grief are also a universal experience. That's why I ask you now to bloom where you are planted. Because an unexpected hardship, maybe a patient loses insurance, is in between jobs, or faces financial challenges, it's charity care that allows Life Path Hospice to say yes, no matter what. That yes is funded by us tending to others. So is the yes to the free grief counseling for kids and adults who are navigating unimaginable loss. The ability to say yes is only possible because of community members like you. $2.5 million. That's what currently stands between 540 individuals and the compassionate care they desperately need right here in Hillsborough County. $850,000. That's the cost of mending broken hearts and rewriting stories through free grief counseling. This year alone, this mission faces a $3.3 million funding gap. Today's gathering is not solely about the cost of care. It's about our shared responsibility to ensure every person is met with dignity and every grieving heart is not alone. We don't have to do this. We get to do this. Because of the generosity of our sponsors, all of today's breakfast expenses are covered. That means 100% of your gift today goes directly to help patients, families, and grieving hearts. We recognize that many of you may be facing increased financial pressures, from everyday expenses to shifting markets. Given all that, it's only natural to feel hesitant, and we deeply appreciate your thoughtfulness in considering a gift today. I can assure you, no one feels this burden more than our hospice patients and grief clients. If the need wasn't so great, we would not be asking. When we looked at what we wanted to ask you for, we decided to request what we really needed the most: financial support for charity care and free grief services. I'm inviting you to join me and my wife Natalie as Life Path Hospice Sustainer Circle members. Sustainers pledge their investment in our mission for 5 consecutive years, ensuring uninterrupted hope, healing, and support will flow to those in need. We have 72 sustainers in the room today, wearing purple ribbons on their name tag. Sustainers, please stand so we can show our appreciation. Thank you. To our incredible sustainers, you are the steady force behind this mission. For the uninsured, your support says, you're seen. You're not alone. We're here with you until the very end. What you give does more than pay for care. It tells a story for children like Wyatt, Abigail, and Cordell. Your support turns tragedy into transformation. You're not just funding programs, you're helping reshape the course of their lives. To encourage you, I have a very exciting announcement to make this morning. A group of our friends has come together to issue a match, a dollar-for-dollar match for every new sustainer pledge, up to $159,000. I'd like to recognize our match friends. Please hold your applause until the end. Rick Baldwin, Adam and Mindy Besnard, Nancy Cottrell, Ron and Linda Cox, Dave Finkel, the Reverend Ed and Sherry Henley, Carl Johnson, the McGrail family, Mike McHugh family, Trish Malesh, Mitchell Rushing Family Foundation, Andrew Molosky and family, Bob and Donna Orff, Kelly and Mark Panter, Elizabeth A. Plott, Mary Beth Reardon, Rachel Rivera, Patty Chirac, Kathy and Bob Smith, Triad Foundation, Wiser Family Fund at Miami Foundation. Let's give them a hand. Thanks to these generous friends, if you choose to join us as a new sustainer today, your gift will be doubled. Likewise, if you're a current sustainer, any extensions or increased giving will also be matched dollar for dollar up to $159,000. Now, I'd like to ask our table captains to please pass out the pledge cards. And I'll walk you through this. First, you may notice we have a QR code printed on the envelope for those of you who'd like to follow along on your phone to pledge your gift online. I believe we have it on the screen as well. Whether you're online or looking at your paper pledge card, at the top of the form, we have the Sustainer Circle. These gifts will go toward the greatest and most urgent needs. The first level, which we call Benefactor, is a pledge of $1,000 each year for 5 years. That's just $83 a month. It's less than the price of a single dinner out with your spouse or partner each month. But with that same $1,000 a year, you help grieving children like the ones you met in the video receive free grief counseling. If you can give at this level, please check or click that box. Next, a gift at the supporter level is a pledge of $2,500 each year for 5 years. This provides 16 days of pediatric care for our youngest patients. If you can give at this level, please check or click that box. Next, a gift at the advocate level is a pledge of $5,000 each year for 5 years. This provides grief support for 20 loved ones, including individual and group counseling. Please check this box if you'd like to give at the advocate level. If you are in a position to do more, please consider a gift of $10,000 each year for 5 years. We call this the champion level. This incredible gift can help support 66 patient days for anyone without resources to pay for hospice care. If you can make a gift at this level, please check or click that box. For patients who may spend several months in our care, Champion Sustainers allow us to be there every step of the way. Remember, all new Sustainer gifts will be matched dollar for dollar up to $159,000. Our pledge can be fulfilled through a transfer of appreciated stock or a donor-advised fund. If you have just become a Sustainer, I sincerely thank you. Now, we know and respect that many of you want to give at a different level. This line is just for you. Please let us know how much you'd like to give and for how long. Every gift makes a difference in someone's story. And lastly, if you're a current member of the Sustainer Circle, there's a special section on the pledge form where you may increase the amount of your existing pledge or add a year or more. You could also choose to give an additional one-time gift or make a pledge payment today. Remember, the gift extensions and increases will also be matched. I'll give you a few minutes to complete your pledge form. While you're wrapping up, I'd like to ask your attention for just a moment. What I'm about to share is something I hope you'll carry with you. Every story counts, and your support today could be the beginning of someone's story of peace, dignity, and healing. When you're done, please place your pledge form in your private envelope and pass it back to your table captain, or submit your electronic form by pressing click to pledge your financial support at the bottom of the online giving page. Now, I'll turn it back to Julia to wrap up our program.
Thank you, Jason. And to each of you in the room this morning, your compassion and your choice to be here today makes a real difference. Thank you for being here and for believing, too, that every story counts. Have a wonderful rest of your day.